Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Talkmen Tuesday. Sword and Angel, back at it again. Yours truly.
And yours truly.
I got no joke, so we'll just roll the intro.
Roll it.
It's Tuesday, Talkmen Tuesday. Everybody's looking forward to the podcast, yeah. Tuesday, Talkmen Tuesday. Everybody's looking forward to the podcast, yeah.
Sword,
Angel.
guess what?
What?
Bathroom door is broken. So when you lock it, you know, like when you lock a door, you're not supposed to open it from the outside, right?
Yeah.
This, when you lock it, you can open it from the outside.
Huh.
So,
Interesting.
yeah. It also it's like a week old too. I'm trying to figure out
So
what.
it's just been constantly locking from the outside for a week? It's just been constantly doing this for a week?
No, our previous one had the same issue, so we replaced it. So it was good for I guess maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks at max. But now you can open it from the outside. And what?
That's not what I want in my facilities.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Especially
I want that privacy.
bathroom door. By the time you open the door and realize that somebody's in there, you're like, oh, this is awkward. This is
Yeah,
very
it's too
awkward.
late at that point.
Yeah.
That's
So
why I'm always terrified to use porta potties too. I'm always so cautious just because I'm like, what if the off chance whoever's in there, there's somebody in there and they didn't lock it? Someone was like, you don't want to be that guy.
And then if you go to the bathroom, they're not necessarily going that slow either. They're opening that thing.
Opening
now
that bank.
It's messed up. So I try to fix it right now. That's why I was late. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I thought it might have been a connection issue on my end with Skype because it happened one time when I messaged on Skype and then you never saw it. And it was just because I had closed Skype in a while. So I'm I haven't closed Skype in a while. So that I redid it and I'm like, I'm just going to send this just in case the other one didn't come through. But it's totally fine.
So.
But no, you're not forgiven, by the way. Just don't let it ever happen again.
My mom actually bought 2 extra ones. So one year should I just replace the whole thing? Somehow try to fix it. But I'm like, what do you fix at that point?
I was gonna say, what do you fix for it?
I try to move the doorknob and whatnot, but I'm like, I don't know. What went wrong?
What kind of doorknob is it?
It's like a bathroom door where if you push it to lock it, and then if you try to open it from the inside, it opens.
That's interesting.
It unlocks, but now from the outside you could do the same thing. You try to open it and then it pops open.
Huh.
What?
You might want to just get a good old-fashioned doorknob on that. Unless it looks nice, then don't do that, but...
Door. Yeah. That's what I'm probably doing it. Get one of those little things. Maybe that's why so many bathrooms have those. Because bathroom doors suck.
There are so many things you don't want to, I guess, have issues with, and a bathroom door is one of them. So...
Actually, it already happened twice today. And I'm like, God, great. I thought it was just somebody just didn't lock it, but then I'm like, wait, you can open it from the outside. So, even though it's locked, I'm like, this shouldn't be happening. Oh, well.
We're actually looking to switch up the doorknobs in our house, too, because we have just the very basic gold doorknobs. And Candace thinks that switching them up to, some of them to, a black doorknob will just make it look nicer up here. Just because it does look very old. The doors that we have in our house, they're probably the cheapest doors ever. It's a very thin piece of plywood probably, and then they painted over it, and then in the middle it's styrofoam that they have to insulate the door. And so very low quality doors. And so we'll probably end up at some point replacing the doors altogether, but she thinks that putting new hardware on the doors themselves will make it look nicer. So we shall see.
I don't know how you do it. Just go throughout your house and be like, a new project. You're like, why?
It's one of those things. It's nice to a degree because you always have something to do. But that's also what stinks about it, is because it's like after you're done with one thing, you have a little bit of downtime, but then like there's other things to do. And so like we got somebody to give us a quote to redo our bathroom upstairs, because we have two big projects left inside. It's redoing our bathroom and then getting new flooring in our kitchen. So we had a guy come up to give us a quote on our bathroom, and it was astronomical. So we're like, you know what? We'll just put a fresh coat of paint on it, maybe do something with the floors. We're like, this is not our forever home, so we don't want to spend all that money. So that's going to be our next project, and then the floors in the floor in the kitchen, and then probably hardware for like the doorknobs and stuff. But yeah, we've been going through it, which is, again, it's good. It keeps you busy, but at the same time, it's like you got to kind of keep up with it, or else it's very easy to kind of just get laid back.
Yeah, bathrooms can be pretty pricey.
Well, because you have to worry about the plumbing and all that. Because like we were going to completely gut it. We've got like a smaller bathroom, and so we had no idea what to expect with it. And then they said it was like $10,000, and we're like, no shot, we're good. So
yeah, I'm guessing the material might be like $5,000.
The material was like, I think it was like 3 or 4. Yeah. But
you see some contractors, what they do is like they're starting up, and they like want to like do an additional charge. They like charge what the cost of product like you're using, add that to the bill, and that's what they typically charge. For like newcomers, if they don't want to add another charge later to it.
Yeah.
Like, interesting. So that's why people, like some people go to Home Depot, they just buy the material. They say that, but then you get the whole learning curve process out. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Couldn't this be
That's
done?
what one of the people that we did when we moved our laundry room from our basement to our first floor. That's what the guy told us. Like, the company themselves, scummy place. Like they're in it for a buck, and so like they're not telling you anything. But then the guy, like, because then they hire like contractors to come out and actually do the work, like through them. And the guy was like, "Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, if you buy like the material and everything, I can say that it's here and you can buy it for cheaper. But the thing is, like, you'd have to make sure that you buy exactly what you need." And he's like, and I wouldn't know that until I kind of go in there and start messing around. And we're like, get it. You just do what you got to do on your end. And like, we'll do it. Because it was one of those projects where they had to take different pipings out and stuff like that. So it was a big one.
Plumbing.
Plumbing.
We had a bathroom clogged and try to use like a snake. Have you ever used a snake to unplug a toilet?
Not a toilet? So you're basically just like plucking apart the feces?
Yeah, the feces are probably
or the toilet paper. Yeah.
Yeah, they put too much toilet paper down there. Apparently, like, it's stuck in the bowl, in the actual toilet, because once it goes stick to the actual sewer, it has a bigger hole. But yeah, I tried it with the one that we had, and I guess mine wasn't heavy duty, so we're just gonna call a plumber.
Yeah.
Plumber came in like 15 minutes. He got it. He had like one of those, a 6-foot snake, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what kind of size is that? Because I want to. So we got a 6-foot snake.
I was gonna say you could probably find them at like Home Depot or like just like specific plumbing stores. I'm sure that they've got them like crazy.
Yep, like $79. Guess how much? That was a snake. Guess how much the actual snake to unclog the toilet. But anyways, to guess how much he charged to unclog the toilet?
I'd say probably like $500 to $700. More?
We're not in Chicago, man. Way less. Way less.
Well, I wish I was just shooting high. I figured it was going to be one of those things that even just to call out.
It was like 130.
Oh.
Yeah. My sister was
that's
like,
much more reasonable.
yeah. My sister was like, that's actually pretty good. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like 15
That
minutes, 130. But I'm like, we needed to get done. So it's like, yeah, we're not gonna argue.
I wonder if they did like, well, $75 for the snake that they used, and then they probably get paid like, I don't know, $30 an hour or something like that. Because like, if you have like a specialty like that, you can make good money and charge like a premium for your time. We had a guy who came to do some plumbing for us, and when we moved the laundry machine up against the first floor, like the water pressure out of our kitchen sink died down like a lot, and so this guy was out here to do a different thing, and I'm like, hey, could you like check out this too, because like the water pressure's a little off here. He goes, well, I can tell you what I would look at if I were you, but if you actually want me to look at that, then I'm gonna have to charge you for it. And I'm like, nope, we're good. So it's probably one of those things where like you have to have that strict line if you're them. Like, if you want me to look at things, I'll look at them, but I'll have to charge you. Otherwise, like, I can't do that, or else people will probably be like, well, can you look at this, and then this, and then this, and then it just goes downhill.
It's a new ticket.
Mm-hmm.
We're having problems with our fridges, and it usually happens over the summer. That's when they're the busiest.
Yeah,
That's
I was going to say they're just running constantly, especially on a day like today.
Mm-hmm.
How bad did it get by you? Was it still like hundreds like it was over here?
I think it felt like hundreds. I think it felt like 99, but it was like 88.
Yeah.
The last time I saw it, it was like
it
88.
Was so humid. If you went outside at all, it was just a killer outside.
My morning class was pretty packed. I think even the coach was like full house today. Basically, the people who tend to go in the morning class all went. So,
nice.
I think another thing helps out that like during the summer you want to work out in the morning because I can't imagine trying to work out in the afternoon. Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things. It's lighter too in the mornings.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, is it? Well, yeah, I guess it is. It's not as like, it's more manageable to be able to do it. That's the easiest way of saying it. Yeah. But
it's not like the sun's heating up. It's just like,
yeah, you can see. But I opened up my window in the living room this morning, and it was probably about like 6 o'clock, and I opened it a little bit, and then the window started fogging up just because the air density or whatever, probably just humidity again, difference from inside compared to outside, and like it like fogged up our big window and everything in like 10 minutes, and so I'm like, wow, it's gonna be one of those days. And then that's all that the news was covering, just these next 2 days are gonna be very, very hot, heat advisory warnings and all this stuff, so get ready.
We're like at the store at like 71 degrees, and if you come from outside, it feels like it's super cold. You're like, wow, this is nice. Like, yeah. But then, like, when you're running around, even 72, sometimes you sweat. I'm like, oh. 73. 73, you are sweating. I'm like, no, unless you just stand still. But that's hard to do.
We'll just wait, and then when you walk outside, it's going to hit you, and you're like, wow, that 72, 71's really nice right about now.
Yeah. You feel that way with humidity. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Something the Midwest has. California doesn't have. That's dry heat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh. You just stand under the shade and you're good. But Midwest, if you go outside, no.
Yeah. And so I knew it was a running day for me, and it was a 4-miler. And Candace and I, we were like, well, we got to run. But we're like, we do have a gym membership. Do we want to just do a treadmill? And like, even in the gym, it was so hot. Like, that's the most I probably have ever sweat running. And like, it felt good afterwards. But it's like, if this is how much I was sweating inside the gym, like, I can only imagine what I would have been. I probably would have passed out outside, like, in all honesty. If I didn't have, like, water or something. Like, it was bad.
Yeah, because it's playing soccer right now. It's like, it's how hot. Like, you want to play soccer.
Yeah. there are little kids playing like little league baseball in one of the parks by us, and like all the parents were sitting in the shade, and like their kids are out on like the diamond, just like sweating away probably. And I'm like, this is one of those days where your parents just make sure you have all those orange slices and an ice cold Gatorade or a Powerade, whatever. And like, it would not be a fun day to go outside and play sports.
They might be like, yes, he'll probably pass out afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, definitely heat exhaustion will be a thing for some of those kids.
Like, the more I see little kids with all the energy, I'm like, the more I understand why they want them to like run everywhere, so they actually like go to sleep at night and not be like not sleep. And then wake up early in the morning and be like, I'm hungry.
Yeah, feed me. It's like, feed yourself. Have a Pop-Tart.
I can't believe that happened. So mom just was like, yeah, my son's sick, so I like stay up until 1 to, like, for him to go to bed, and then her daughter woke her up like at 6 in the morning and be like, I'm hungry, wake up. I was like, ouch. Like,
Growing up, what was your like breakfast? Like when you were in like elementary school and then like going into high school, it was like your breakfast.
usually eggs with something.
Yeah.
My mom would usually cook in the morning. Surprisingly. Yeah. She would wake up early and actually cook breakfast and yeah. Probably drive us to school. Yeah. Even though we were super close. We were like a few blocks away from school. Tell me why in elementary school it was around, I think I was like in 3rd or 4th grade. I was on my bike and school was out and this guy in a white van, like tell us like, hey, have you seen my lost cat? And luckily I didn't pay attention to him because I was like looking towards my friends and I was just like going towards like where my friends were at, and I was like, no, sorry. And I looked back and like he already had like the door open. I'm like, didn't think none of it. But then like the following week, there's like this warning for like a white van that's like kidnapping kids around like the block. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you almost got kidnapped. 100% almost got kidnapped.
And I'm like, I put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, what if he did was it like he didn't lose a cat and like that was a big white van? Like, why would he ask me for help for the cat? I'm like,
do I look like I know where your cat is, sir? Why don't you just go find it?
That's just crazy. Almost getting kidnapped. But yeah. That would be my kidnapping story. But I'm like, yeah. Luckily, I just left, so yeah. I didn't have to think about that situation. Because what do people who kidnap kids like think? They're going to get money?
Yeah, I don't really know what the end goal on that one is.
Yeah. Ooh. Another bike story. When I was little...
I'm like, where do we go off from kidnapping? Kidnapping to...
I was riding around a certain street with other friends, and this like big guy, probably a high schooler or like upper middle schooler, was like saw us going down the street, and so like he slowly went towards like the way we were going, like basically trying to cut us off on the sidewalk, and he basically did cut us off on the sidewalk, me and my friend, and then like he looks at us and like makes the motion of like money. And my friend was smart. He was like, I don't got any. I was dumb. I was like, I got a quarter. I just got a couple quarters. So he was like, okay. So I gave him a couple quarters.
You can get a few gumballs with that, sir.
And so me and my friends, he let us go. I don't know why. It just happened all fast and we just like went with it. But my friend was smart. I wasn't. And then like we went to the gas station, and he had money for the gas station. So I'm like, he lied to this guy.
Yeah, sir, he has money.
That's when I realized, like, oh, I probably shouldn't have told him I had money.
Yeah.
Because now I don't have money for the gas station. So I never went around that street again.
Yeah, probably a good call. You've gotten mugged at this podcast, and you also almost got kidnapped. This is just like crimes against Angel Day.
And the weirdest thing is, we probably run like a somewhat decent neighborhood.
Yeah, not that guy.
But
or the kidnapper.
Yeah, but that was outside our own street, so I just made sure to stay in my own street. Because both those times was outside my street. And the gas station was pretty far. I guess bike terms wise it was. But the van was like, yeah. That was really close to where the elementary school was at. And a bunch of kids would walk to their houses. That was just insane. So I could see how they thought it was like easy picking.
Easy picking. All those kids.
Yeah.
I unfortunately don't have any fun kidnapping or theft stories against me. I had a pretty basic childhood in that aspect, so
You didn't bike around the wrong streets?
no, actually.
No big middle schoolers or like freshman high schoolers, big. They're like, they didn't have to say anything. They just made the money sign, and we knew what they meant. And I was like, I got 2 quarters.
No.
My friend was like, I don't got any money. I'm like, oh, he doesn't have any. I got 2 quarters. Is that good? He's like, yeah. We go, okay, thank you.
I feel like for me, if maybe there was any type of something like that, it would maybe be like at recess, a big kid came and wanted to play basketball or football, and I had it, and so I gave it to him. Like, but nothing of like my own possession that was ever given up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I mean, man, that would have been a story.
Uh-huh.
There was actually a kid in my grade school who a van pulled up while he was outside with his brother, and then like tried to take him or something, and then their parents came out and like scared the guy away. So that happened.
Yeah. Elementary schools, man.
So exactly like you said, what do you do? Like, as morbid as it is, I feel like the only thing to do if you kidnap somebody is to like them, like,
you $5,000 and let them go.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
the cops can get you.
They'll get you after. So it's like there's no end game with it.
I don't think they think that far ahead. They're just like,
no,
$5,000.
I need this money. What can I do?
We can spend so much candy. Me thinking like a kid again. We can go to the ice cream shop. Talking about money in elementary school. Alright, so since a lot of people walked home, there's like a flood of kids after school, right? And so the ice cream guy had his little cart. This is California, so they have like this ice cream cart go around and have little bells. Ding ding. So at times, the kids would just swarm this ice cream vendor. Okay. And there was one kid who apparently stole from him multiple times, right?
From the ice cream vendor?
Yeah.
Huh.
And so one afternoon, when it was like a chill, I think probably like half an hour after the school, after like 20 minutes, it was like cleared. This family went up to get ice cream, and the kid tried to buy ice cream for like the whole family, and the ice cream vendor just took his money and was like, "I know you stole from me. That's for like stealing." So like he got his money, but like the mom was like, "What's going on?" It's like, "He stole from me. I'll let it pass now, but just know he stole from me." And he tried to give the money back to like the mom. He was like, "No, forget it." And so like the mom actually gave him like the ice cream vendor the money, and she was just pissed at the kid for stealing.
Good for that mom though.
His butt got the little kid's butt got called out because he's like,
Yeah.
"I know you've been stealing from me." It's like, but at the time when like all the kids come in, it's rush hour. It's like a school bus going down.
Yeah.
And so like people would just like literally pick at his like things at times, and the guy's just like trying to get the orders, and like people would wait and some people wouldn't, and yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those things, like, good on the guy for being willing to give the money back to the mom and being like, as long as you handle this, and then better on the mom for being like, no, I mean, if he stole from you, that's your money. Like, I'll deal with him.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
And he was like, "Come over here." Like, "Oh, we're getting it."
Yeah,
You're getting that
to be a
chocolate.
fly on the wall during that.
And I saw that, I'm like, wow. Odyssey's good pork.
Yeah.
Except where like a bully's trying to be like doing the handstand go, oh, like money. So you don't have money, I'm like, oh, okay, I got that next time. Luckily, that wasn't a next time.
Yeah. Next time I gave him $1. The time after that, I'm actually down $50 from that guy.
I was like, I got 50 cents.
You can have it now, though.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't need it. Free money.
Thank you. Elementary school stories. Who was your favorite elementary school teacher? Why?
I feel like my favorite elementary school teacher was the math teacher. We had like a separate teacher for math.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked her because she like told jokes and she was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, or there was a science teacher that I had. She was the 7th grade teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in charge of the like the science fair and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like it would, the way that the science fair worked was like you have like the science fair within your own school, and then if you do well enough, then you get invited to the next stage, which is like within the region, and then you do science fair within the region against kids, and then if you do really good there, then you get invited to the state science fair. And the rumor with her was if you made it to the state science fair, then like you were on her A list like the rest of the year. And I was lucky enough to get to the state science fair, and then she like loved me, but like I also didn't do anything for her not to like me either, but she actually passed away not too long ago. I'm not sure from what. I want to say like cancer or something like that, but I think she would probably be my favorite one just because she was really nice and like liked me too, which didn't hurt. But what about you?
Elementary school would be like 3rd grade. Something. One, we got to go to, I think, SeaWorld for a field trip. And then
Dang.
2, she would give individual prizes, like out of her own money, for people who won math quizzes. Like we had different math levels, like multiplication tables, divisions, and whatnot. Like under 3 minutes, you do like 60 or 100. I don't know what it was, but yeah, whoever like beat the first or was on top. Basically, you do like times tables of 1, times tables of 2 each week until like you get a certain point. But yeah, she would give out prizes out of her own individual pocket because, you know, school's not gonna pay for it.
Yeah, motivation one way or another.
And then at the end of the school year, she gave us all McDonald's, which I thought was so cool. I remember that. She gave us all McDonald's. And as a kid, you're like, McDonald's. It's like,
I love McDonald's. Give her nuggets.
And then with all
Even
your
as an adult,
friends.
I'm like that.
Oh my goodness, that high. It's just like the high of a pizza party, like all your friends. Like, pizza! But middle school would have to be 8th grade, an 8th grade teacher, Miss Snowden. She was one of those teachers that she actually like cared.
Yeah.
And she actually would be like at the beginning of the school year, like, let this be the school year that like no student doesn't like pass 8th grade. Apparently, like pass certain grades, or you weren't gonna actually go to high school. You were gonna go to like an alternative school. And so every year there was some kids who would have to go to alternative school and like, let this be the year that like we all pass like towards high school. I'm like, aww. And there was
I don't think throughout all of elementary school somebody ever didn't not pass. We were like a class of 35, and so yeah, I mean K through 8, there were 35 of us, and nobody ever got like held back or anything. I wonder if they could hold some. I mean, they totally could, I guess. It's not really can you, but
like certain schools should get you by. But I think if you get to a certain point where like so many people, bad students are there, that like they make an alternate high school. So basically, all the troublemakers, all the people get like in bad trouble with either the security or the police officers. They would go to that school if they got in multiple fights as well. Did your middle school have a cop or security there?
Nope.
My middle school, we had security there. I don't think they're official cops. We had security around like 3 or 4. They just like wander around because there was like usually multiple fights, and it was way overcrowded.
Oh, really?
My PE class, if you had a lock, you got a locker, and if you didn't, you just have to like wait in line and then just basically put your bag out anywhere. And I just realized that they didn't use the showers because it was too overcrowded.
Huh. Yeah, no, I mean, my elementary school, it was like a big building, and there were only 200, right? It would have been, like 210 total people that were in there. And like, so overcrowding was never really a thing that my school had to worry about, thankfully.
I think elementary school was good for us, except middle school was where it got packed. Then high school, they knew they needed to build a new high school, so it was that time frame of like, it's getting way too overcrowded, and then they're like finally adjusting it, but we're gonna suffer through it.
Yeah.
And then they built a new high school because that apparently was overcrowded too. Yeah.
Did your high school have like the skinny lockers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to high school in Indiana.
You couldn't fit anything. I hated those lockers. You couldn't fit anything in there. Like your backpack, you'd have to like turn your backpack and squeeze it in.
I didn't realize that you actually had to use your locker in high school. Since like I've only seen lockers in like movies, like TV shows.
And you're just like carrying all your stuff around with you.
Yeah. Because that's what I would do like in middle school. You would like that's what you would do in middle school. You would just carry, like, everybody would have their backpack on them at all times. And you would carry your stuff around you the whole day. Because we didn't have lockers. And so I went to high school, and my first period teacher was like, you're supposed to leave your backpack in the locker. I'm like, no, I didn't know that.
What?
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. I'll do that next period. So I used my
Didn't you say, like, you like weren't allowed to carry it? Like, it was, like, against the rules?
Yeah. She actually said, she said, I put it nicely. She was like, you're supposed to leave.
Please don't.
Yeah. She basically said that, you're supposed to leave your backpack in the locker. I'm like, oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know yet. So I'm like, you're supposed to go to your locker every period and then get the book you're supposed to for your next period? Bonkers.
That was always the tough part, was like mapping out your schedule. And so like I would go into like my high school a day or two before like classes actually started and like map out when I would be able to go back to my locker to get my next stuff, because like you didn't want to be carrying every single book around. And so it was like seeing, okay, how much time do I have now? Okay, can I make it? Okay, what can I bring? Because some classes had like thick books, and if you got screwed with having that class next to another class that was really far away, you're just looking like a freshman all the time.
You have like 5 minutes from one class to one class.
Yep.
I was always late. 5 minutes was not enough time.
I would hustle in the halls if I needed to.
I just like to talk to people. Hey, how's it going? Long time no see. I get to class and you're like, oh. I remember the principal was like, you're always in like the hallways. So I'm like, hi. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Like,
what's it to you?
I think you meant like I was always like one of the last ones in the hallway. Like, one, like to talk to people. Two, I like to use the bathroom. Well, no, I don't like to use the bathroom. I have to go constantly. So I would have to use the bathroom and then talk to people, and I'm like, oh. So you figure out which ones are like the flexible teachers and try to get your classes to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it was all about. You knew what teachers were nice, you knew what teachers weren't.
Yeah, some people who were very strict. They're like, you get a detention. I got a couple of detentions.
I never got a detention in all 4 years.
Oh.
Thankfully. I got a warning once because my shirt was untucked. And it wasn't even like the entire shirt. It was like the back part. Like, okay. But that's probably why they gave me a warning, because they're like, We know it just probably came untucked. The perks of a Catholic school.
Oh. Now that I think about it, I'm like, why did high school have detention? That we were like your own one, but I got detention. Probably because I was late to my first period class. They were strict on first period. Usually on first period, they were strict if you got there late.
Yeah, because you had no excuse not to do that. Like, that makes sense. Oh, sorry, I was coming from my other class. There is no class before this. Oh, crap.
The bed was too warm.
I remember there was one time in school or in high school that it was like pouring rain outside. Like, it was bad. Mm-hmm. And it was my senior year, and it was one of those things where I'm like, well, school hasn't been canceled yet, like it should, so I'm gonna go anyways. And like after I got there, like there was like nobody else there. There's probably like 30 kids that were there. And then they went over the loudspeaker. They're like, due to flooding, like we're actually not gonna be opening class or school today, so please go home. And like it was wild. Like the roads were flooded. There's just like nobody should be on the roads during that. And I'm like, of course, I should have just like did a power move and not even shown up. I was too much of a baby to miss a day of school that I went.
I think like snowstorms. Back in our day, we had snow days. Nowadays, online classes, kids.
Yeah, that's something that I'm very thankful for. Like, before they knew that we could all go virtual and do all that stuff remote, like, it was just, okay, school's closed for the day, like, talk to you tomorrow type of thing. But now it's like, okay, everybody log into your software. Like, I'll see you in 20 minutes.
Teachers never have their full names on social media anymore. They're like their middle name or like nicknames, shit, like, so the kids don't find them.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. That's a good move.
Yeah. You know,
there have been so many teachers like fired. I shouldn't say so many. I've seen things on TikTok of teachers getting fired for like stuff that they posted on social media, and it's like, you should know better. I mean, anybody should know better, but like, if you're a teacher, you know your kids are going to be trying to find you, like.
And then the easiest one is like if it's their full name, like, oh.
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely a thing with the younger teachers to know how to like hide better on social media. I feel like if you've got an older teacher that might not be as tech savvy, like you could probably still find them, but they probably don't have too much on them.
I was like, don't use your full name, private account. That help you out, basically. The private account, yeah. If not, it would have to be private, yeah. Unless you want to do a TikTok one, you might go viral.
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while I'll come across like teacher talk where it's like preschool teachers are chatting about like funny things that happened in the day and stuff like that. And I'm like, even with some of that stuff, you got to be careful, because if you're giving away the identity of these like preschoolers, a lot of them are very good about it. Every once in a while they'll see one that like shows a kid and it's like, you should not be showing that kid on your social media, but that's why I'm not a teacher though. That one reason.
I like the high school videos of like students calling their teachers by their full name and they're just like,
yeah,
too stunned to speak. It's like,
hi Martha. What?
What you call me? Called by your first name. What?
A lot of those are staged, I will say, but it's like, I feel like the first couple weren't, but I feel like now people are like, oh, that's kind of funny. So you just get like the genuine reactions at those.
Okay, let's do some. Maybe one would you rather.
Yeah, the would you rather that you choose will be the question of the day, so make it a good one. No pressure.
Ooh. All right. Wow, that's two good ones.
We can do both if you want to do both.
Okay.
Or if you want to make executive decision, it's up to you.
I'll just save the next one for next week.
All right, I like it.
All right, Sawyer.
Angel.
Would you rather live in the wilderness far from civilization with no human contact, or live on the streets of a city as a homeless person? This will be an easy choice for those who prefer rural life and like to be alone, but a much harder choice for those who enjoy the company of others. Dun, dun, dun.
That is a good one. Oh, I don't. I've got my answer. Let me know when you've got your answer.
I got mine.
You want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
All right. I'm saying that I would rather live in like the far away place away from people, just because I don't think I could go being homeless. Like, obviously, it's one of those situations where if like I was put in that spot, like I feel like I'd be able to survive and be okay or decently okay. But if like I have the option of doing that or doing something else, I feel like I would rather not have to be homeless. And so I would be like the biggest scaredy cat out there because I'd be like every little noise I'd be like, somebody there, monster. And so I get in my head a ton, but I feel like I would hopefully grow out of that or go crazy, one of the two.
Be comfortable with all the noises.
Yeah, I feel like I just couldn't be homeless.
Oh. I think it's a great start to a book. I was homeless, and then...
and then... Open to find out. And then you bought this book.
And then something happened. That'd be a great story. I feel like I enjoyed way too much people. And if I was homeless in America, no. But it's a pretty good country to be in.
It depends on what part of the country you're in too. Because if like you're homeless in New York or Chicago, like you get cold winters. Like, but if you're homeless in like California or something, like there's homeless people that just like chill on the beach.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'd have to go and you'd have to find food and stuff like that. But there are definitely more optimal places to be homeless at.
I'm telling you, this Penny series of like this YouTuber is making me think I can make some money if I'm a homeless person. Just by, especially that water trick in a popular city.
Yeah.
He's like, go to, if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's like a whole case of bottle and sells it for like $1. It's $2 a piece. It's like, boom. It's cold.
You should have done that like today or tomorrow. Like, make a pretty penny with people just hot.
Yeah, especially in a tourist spot because they know they're there to spend money. You're like,
yeah.
Water, thirsty.
Yeah, that's why if you ever go to like a sports game or something, you have all those people that are outside the stadium being like, "Hey, I'm selling this for $3. If you go inside, you'll have to pay $5 for it." Like, might as well get it from me instead of from them.
Yeah. I remember did that with when I visited Mark in DC. There's people selling water off the cooler, and I'm like, it was high, so I did not mind paying that. And plus, it's probably the same amount as a gas station.
Yeah,
like a bottle of water. So that's it.
All righty. Well, that is our question of the day. And so, as a little refresher on it, would you rather be completely alone in the wilderness somewhere in complete solitude and have no human contact, or would you rather be homeless in a big city where you're still around people, but again, homeless? And so you can let us know what you decide you would rather do in the comment section if you are listening to this on YouTube, or if you are listening to this on one of the podcast platforms, you can email to us at talkmentuesday@gmail.com. And as always, if you have any topics that you want us to talk about, feel free to let us know. And we would be more than happy to talk about anything that you guys are curious about. This week's topic was actually brought to us by Travelocity. If you need a trip and you want to go to different destinations from remote areas to the big city, go to Travelocity. But as always, too, if you guys have any tips, tricks, feedback for us, let us know. We're always looking to increase your pleasure with the audio aspect of the podcast, which I would say is a big piece of it. But let us know. We are more than happy to pivot accordingly. But we look forward to chatting with you all more next week. But in the meantime, stay safe, social distance, and make sure to tell someone you love them. But we'll talk with you guys later.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.